I'm happy to be joined tonight on Primetime Local News by Honorary Colonel Michael Ravenhill, the CEO of the David Foster Foundation. We have a very important conversation today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, for those who don't know, let's talk a little bit about what the David Foster Foundation is.
Well, the David Foster Foundation has two mandates. Our first is to provide financial assistance to families of children that require major organ transplants for all their non-medical expenses. So food, clothing, transportation, accommodations, mortgage, car payments. Essentially what we do is we come alongside the family during their time of need and take away all their financial stresses so that they can spend all of their time beside their child.
It's really amazing when you think of that, because there's so much that goes into, dealing with this, whether it's people who are dealing with family members who are in a situation where they are donating their organs, or someone is in need and waiting for an organ transplant. This is so important. If there are people who are wanting to get involved and want to know more about the organization and any way that they can help out, what is the best way to do that?
Well, that's a great question. I think one of the first ways is you could go to davidfosterfoundation.com. There's a tremendous amount of information on organ and tissue donation. We actually have a national or a map that you can actually click on wherever you are in the country, and you can click on your own geographical area and find the place that you can register. The thing that we have in Canada is we have a fractured system because not every province has the same registry style. So we don't have a national registry, and every province is different. So we encourage you to do that first. And then, of course, there's a lot of information there on the site.
One of the things that I learned in the process of getting to do this interview with you was that Canada actually has one of the worst organ and tissue donation rates in all of the world. It's crazy. What is the reasoning for that, do you think?
Well, I think a lot of it is education. It's awareness. It's getting the word out. So, being able to express, being this month, being April Organ and Tissue Donor Awareness Month, this is one way that we can do it. It's creating conversation and just letting people know of the importance of it. But, if you take a look at some of the stats, one organ donor can save 8 lives and can improve the quality of life up to 75 people. Think about that. It's amazing that we have the ability. It's right in front of us. It takes 2 minutes to register. And one day it could be somebody saving your life.
What do you think the hesitancy is? Have you been able to figure that out in your time with the foundation?
Well, I've been with the foundation for almost 30 years, and it comes up to myths or misinformation, fear. But I can tell you that there's no religion or faith that doesn't support improving life. But a lot of people are concerned that, if they get critically ill, injured, will they will somebody let them go and to provide more organs? It's just simply not the case. That's one I hear all the time. And I just go, wow, we have an amazing medical system with amazing sets and standards that it isn't the case. So myths is probably our biggest one, and education. We just have to get the word out and the importance of it.
It's great to have a month that is dedicated to this subject where a lot of awareness is created, but what does the foundation do throughout the rest of the year to continue this message?
Wonderful question. Well, we try to build in our social media. We work in communities. We have great partnerships that we utilize throughout the country to help spread the message. We work in the communities with our families that are going through this ordeal pre, during, and post. We have the opportunity to speak to organizations, talk to them, corporations, see how they can help us with the registration as well, and just get the word out. It's so important. When we have 19% of Canadians that actually are registered organ donors, we've got a long way to go in Canada. So come on, Canadians, we can do this, because we are a country that does a lot of great things. Here's one that we need to do.
Now, we are located on the border between Saskatchewan and Alberta here. Have there been cases that you have helped people in both of these provinces through the foundation?
Absolutely. We help children in every province throughout this country and have for 35 years. And there are families in both provinces that we have helped in the last couple of years. And we actually have a few that we're actually helping at this present time.
Are there events that you guys have throughout the year too to raise money and other things that you can do through this campaign for people who can help out? And I know a lot of times people think, well, I don't have, even $100 to give, but sometimes, $5, $10, whatever always helps when it goes toward the common goal.
Yeah. Whether it's an event that we do, we move our events around our country. This year, we'll be doing one in Toronto in May. But, every penny helps. When you look at a family that is struggling to buy groceries or to pay their mortgage, every penny helps. Let me give you one little bit. If you take a look at when a family is given the news that they're going to their child needs a major organ transplant. What happens a lot of the time is one income will have to stop because a parent will have to go with that child to another hospital somewhere in the country. We have 5 children's hospitals around the country. Then what happens is, so that's one less income, but it's double the expenses because under our healthcare, they don't pay for accommodations and all of those things. So 85% of families will end in bankruptcy or divorce if we don't step in and help them. So every penny does help. $5, $10, it doesn't matter. It all is going to our families. And that's the most important thing. Our families need your help so that they can continue to be by their child and not worry about losing their car or their house or pay the bills.
Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us today. It's been a pleasure to talk to you. And one more time, if people are looking for any information regarding either whether they want to make donations or they know someone that needs help, how do they find the David Foster Foundation?
The davidfosterfoundation.com is the best place to go. You'll get all of the information. You'll get some stories, bring some tissue with you because there's some pretty heartwarming stories, but that's how you do it. davidfosterfoundation.com.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having us.